Greetings to all of my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, bringing you another State of the Collection Zelos edition. I might do other State of the Collection videos shortly about other watch brands that I have. But right now I'm running through my Zelos collection. This is video number 3 in a 4-video set. This video will cover all my dive and dive style Zelos that are not Hammerheads. I say dive style because these watches over here, which I'll get to in a moment, are technically not dive watches, but they do have a depth rating that make them swimmable, and they are made in the diving style of watch. Two watches that would normally fit into this category are missing. These are a pair of Swordfish watches. I have a Swordfish Damascus or titanium Damascus blue meteorite dial and a Swordfish titanium with a meteorite dial and meteorite bezel. Both of those watches went back to Zelos itself in Singapore because the movements were in bad shape and needed to be replaced, and Elshin is doing that as I make this video, and I don't have them around, and I'm not going to wait until they come back to make the video. And speaking of Swordfish, I do have one other Swordfish available. This is a Swordfish titanium 42 millimeter. This is what they call the Damascus Light. It's a blue meteorite dial with a titanium Damascus bezel insert. This watch was sort of made as a, I don't want to call it a mistake actually, but it came out as a watch that didn't quite succeed as well as Elshin would have liked with respect to making the meteorite dial blue. You can see, you really can't tell it's a meteorite dial, but it is actually a meteorite dial. The blue coating is rather heavy. I think they made about 150 of these with the newer style titanium clasp with the spring-loaded slide. You pull that back and you can slide it out and then push it back in, so it's an adjust on the fly bracelet. It's a full titanium H-link bracelet, as you can see. This watch is a little special to me because my good friend and fellow YouTuber Random Rob actually likes to do some of his winter time in Florida, and he usually stays relatively near where I live, and he came that year to visit me, and he was wearing this watch, and I literally bought it right off his wrist. He later sent me the extra links and the full kit, so I basically bought this watch off Random Rob at cost. So once again, thank you to Random Rob for allowing me to get a hold of this watch. It's in great shape, full titanium, love it. Got a great white. Now, the astute among you may notice that I don't have any Swordfish 40 millimeters anymore, nor do you see any Makos anymore. I got rid of them. I sold them all off. 40 millimeter just wasn't really working for me. And I did sell off 4 or 5 Makos, and they have good homes now. I like the Great White a little better. I think it's an underappreciated lineup for Zelos. The Mako is the 40 millimeter version, and the Great White is essentially the 43 big brother to the Mako. This one is the forged carbon. It's a Great White Generation 2. I have had Generation 1s in the past. I still have the videos up on my channel if you want to go take a look at them. By the way, all these watches have individual detailed videos of them. So if you see a watch here that you want to know more about, you can certainly look up the video on my channel and take a deeper dive into the watch, no pun intended. I like the Great Whites. I think it's an underappreciated lineup of the Zelos family. I managed to purchase this one on the secondary market, which generally for me is the Zelos Timekeeper group on Facebook. That's where I get most of my secondhand Zelos watches, and that's where I end up selling all my Zelos watches. So that's a good source. If you're looking for a good source for Zelos buy-sell trade, the Timekeeper group is a great source. And you can only get in that group if you're approved. So there is a vetting process to get in that group. So that does help with preserving and securing your purchasing. I like this watch. For me, it's better than the Mako. Although the Makos have more variety in terms of colorways and materials, I think the Great White is a fantastic watch. Another underappreciated watch that came out from Zelos is the Thresher. This is a combination watch. It's a combination of dive watch and a GMT. You can see the GMT watch here. This came in 5 different colorways. This one is obviously the green one. I did own in the past a blue one, but I've since long ago sold that. The neat thing about this watch is you have dual bezels. The inner bezel is a dive bezel, and then you have the outer GMT bezel. So this watch will make an excellent all-arounder, and this accounts for the popularity of the watch. Maybe someday Elshin will do a second generation Thresher and start using different colorways that he's since used on other watches. I think this watch would look fantastic, for example, say with an Aventurine dial, or maybe in a Damascus case would look fantastic. Hope Elshin's watching. But I like this green one. I'm not a general big fan of green watches overall. I think I have 2. This one and what's the other one I have? Oh, it's a Breitling. But I like the fume style dial of this, and I like the versatility of the GMT and the dive, the gilded hands. It's really an overall great looking watch, and every once in a while I think about selling it, but I think now I'm going to keep it. But you never know. I did pick up over time a pair of the DMT, the diver medic technician watches. These are some of the older pre-Hammerhead days of Zelos, circa 2015, 16, somewhere in there. I think it's 2015 or 16. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. I love the overall aesthetic of this watch. I love that ice blue inner bezel. The outer bezel really looks good, although it's incredibly stiff. I think it's probably because it hasn't been turned in a while. I'll fix that later. Great case. It's just overall a fantastic looking watch. Helium escape valve there. It's really a true diver's watch. And There it goes. Kinda. Sorta. Boy, that bezel is really... My OCD's getting the best of me. Anyway, there were two versions of this watch. The dated version and then the undated version. Also, there were two flights of these watches apiece. There was serial numbers 1 through 100, and then there was a second flight of 101 through 150. So there's 150 dated and 150 undated. So these watches were not easy to find. Only one of them came to me with full kit. I've put them on these mesh bracelets that I picked up from Amazon. These are from Ishi, E-A-C-H-E. Unsponsored mention, of course. But they're a universal straight lug fit. The black one pairs up nicely with the bezel, I think. The silver one pairs up nicely with the case. And this bezel obviously turns a lot better. Can't explain why that one doesn't, although the only explanation I have is it hasn't been turned in forever. But the DMT is a fantastic looking watch. It was well worth the effort to try and find them both. And then we have the Eagles. And those of you who know me on the Facebook group, the Timekeeper group, know about the Eagle saga, if you will. I found 3 of them relatively easily. They weren't the easiest watches to find. They're very old versions of Zelos watches. It was not easy to find them, but not terribly hard for the A, the C, and the D. But those of you who remember my efforts to find the B watch, this one here, you know that was the better part of 15 months of constantly posting, question, does anyone have an Eagle E1B to sell? And that's the one with the gray indices. And actually, you can see the difference. This one is the E1A with the white indices. This is the E1B with the gray indices. I hope the camera picks that up really well. Again, they do have screw down crowns. So they do have good water resistance. I believe it's a 200 meter water resistance. They have fixed bezel with no dive indicators. So technically not a dive watch, but you can swim with them. They do have a depth rating that makes them safe to swim. I love the sandwich case. You have an inner and outer case, and the outer case sandwiches the inner. No date on these. Not easy to find. They really aren't. In fact, this one came to me with no kit or anything. I paired it as I showed you with the another Ishi bracelet. The E1B, when I finally did find one, it came with the watch and the factory strap, but no kit. I paired it with a Rishi rubber silicone strap, which pairs up nicely. I think the gray underside matches up beautifully with the gray indices, and you can see the back there is kind of a turbine look to it. Then you have the E1C, which is the black PVD coated. They're all PVD coated. The black PVD coat inner case surrounded by the bronze outer case, again paired with a Ishi strap bracelet, and the bronze has patinaed in nicely in the Florida weather that I enjoy so much. And then you have the afterburner, the E1D with the orange indices, and I paired it again with a Rishi silicone rubber strap, black on one side and orange on the underside, which matches the black and orange indice and hands motif. Again, beautiful watches. Great examples of the early designs that Zelos was playing with back before the Hammerhead. Great watches. Anyway, those are all the non-diver Zelos watches that I have currently in my collection, minus the two that I mentioned that are off being repaired. Essentially, they're getting new movements, and Elshin said he would, I don't know if the right word is adjust them or regulate them. I think it's adjust them so that they are keeping good time. I was going to take them locally to be repaired. I figured I'd just have them swap out NH35 movements, but Elshin said he would take care of it. So I shipped them off to Singapore. Anyway, that's video number 3 of my Zelos State of the Collection 2023 video series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that thumbs up button for me. That does help with the YouTube search algorithm. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to try to troll me or you are going to leave comments, I should say links to bad places on the internet, I will simply delete the comment and block the commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I hope you take the time to not only watch this video, but watch as many videos as you'd like. I have hundreds. All I ask in return is that you click that red subscribe button and help me grow the channel. If you've been here before but you haven't subscribed yet, please click that red button to help me grow the channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon too, so that when I upload new videos or I do a live stream, you will be alerted. And as I always say at the end of my videos, it is a crazy old world out there. And it's not getting any less crazy. So please, be careful out there. Stay safe. Be well. See you soon.